Toasted coconut is an amazing way to bring out the beautiful, rich flavor and aroma of coconut. In the last video, I showed you how to easily make toasted shredded coconut or coconut flakes. And now I'm going to show you how to make the most amazingly flavorful coconut milk with toasted coconut. It's so incredibly easy and it's so delicious that I promise you're never going to want to buy store-bought coconut milk again. And I love it because it is free from additives and preservatives. It's just simply coconut and the flavor is outstanding. So let's get right to it.
So go ahead and pause this video, get your mise en place, and then meet me back here when you're ready.
So the first thing that we're going to do is take our warm water, and it's warm, it's not hot, I can touch it. And we're going to pour that in to our container. And we're just basically kind of covering it. So you can really make however much you want. And the ratio of water to coconut really has to do with how you like your coconut milk. Do you like your coconut milk really rich and thick? Or do you like it a little more runny and kind of more like the stuff that you buy in a carton? What are you using your coconut milk for? So here I have
2 1/4 cups, which ends up being about 200 grams
of coconut
with 1 1/3 cups
water, which is about 300 grams. And what we're going to do is you can see it just kind of covers it. So this is why I like to use the flat dish so you can see. We're just going to leave it sit here for about 10 to 15 minutes for the coconut to absorb some of the water. So you can see it's already absorbing the water. And that's good because the coconut contains all of the fats in the coconut, those healthy fats that we love from coconut, and we want to retain those in our coconut milk. So we want it to absorb as much of the water as we can so that when we blend it and press it, we can get out as much of the fat as possible. This coconut milk that I made yesterday has actually separated here. And you can see the bottom is just basically coconut water. And here, this is all coconut cream. So this is the part in the can that's nice and thick, right? That you take out and you use to make coconut whipped cream or more a curry or a soup that you want to have a little bit thicker consistency. So once it's been soaking about 10 or 15 minutes, all you're going to do is take your blender. You can use a food processor as well. I like to use my Vitamix, but if you don't have a Vitamix or a high-speed blender, that's okay. A food processor works just great. You just need something to be able to grind this down. So now what we're going to do is just pour it all into here. Because the coconut contains all the fat, the amount of water that you add in really dictates what kind of coconut milk you make. So for this particular recipe that we did, we're going to have some coconut cream, but we're also going to have a lot of coconut milk. So I'm using this more for coconut milk for cooking. I like it at about this consistency. If you want to make a little bit more of a thinner consistency of coconut milk, then you would add just a little bit more water. So you can try it out this way and see what you think. And next, when I show you how to make the coconut cream, I'll show you what happens when you add way less water. So let's give this a blend. So starting with it on low and then just increasing it to high. And then we're going to blend it for 1 to 2 minutes. So if you're finding that it's sticking to the sides, it is quite thick, you can use your little tool to bring it down or just So that's it, super easy to do. And then I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. And there we are, you can see the consistency, kind of like a thick paste. So now comes the fun part where we're going to actually just take and squeeze out or press out our coconut milk. So I like to use a nut milk bag, and this one I'll put a link in the description below, but they're basically just 100% cotton. So if you have 100% cotton and you want to sew yourself a little simple bag like this, you can. Or if you don't have that, you can also just use a fine mesh strainer, but some of the pulp will come through. So what you're going to want to do is use a large bowl because it can be messy if you have a smaller bowl, and just put a double or triple layer of cheesecloth on top and then throw your coconut right in there. So my favorite thing to do is just use one of these Pyrex glass dishes and kind of hook the edge of my nut milk bag here. And then we're just going to scoop it in. And you don't want to get any of this pulp here. You don't want to get any of this into your bowl because your bowl is going to contain your milk, which is not going to have any of this pulp in it. What's going to be left over is our coconut meal. And coconut meal, or I call it pulp, is what we're going to use to then make coconut flour. And because it's toasted coconut, the coconut flour is so good. So you could see by doing this that definitely using coconut flour in your gluten-free baking will absorb a lot of the water from your baking. So you're going to want to use only a small amount of it in your recipe. I don't like to waste a thing. What I love about making coconut products at home is I don't waste anything. I use every little bit of that coconut, and I find it really easy to find organic, unsweetened, gluten-free coconut. So I can find that really easily, but it's not so easy to find coconut milk that doesn't have additives and preservatives or gums. There are a few that I have found, but they all contain gums like guar gum or xanthan gum, and I just find those, I want to avoid those. And some people find those difficult to digest. And xanthan gum can be made from corn, which I don't eat. So there we go. So we get as much of it out as we can. And then I just tighten my bag and I literally just squeeze. And you can see that beautiful coconut milk, toasted coconut milk coming out. And that's it. Now this coconut milk, this toasted coconut milk will act just like a regular can of coconut milk. So it will harden when you cool it and put it in the refrigerator. It will become hard. The top will separate and become your coconut cream. The more water that you add in it, the more that you dilute the fats. So you're going to have less and less cream. So you can squeeze and press. This is the way I like to do it. Just to squeeze, make sure your hands are clean and just squeeze it up. From about 2 cups of unsweetened coconut, I'm going to get about 2 cups of coconut milk. So it's quite lovely. And then I'm going to use this pulp that's going to be left in the bag to make coconut flour. You can also directly put this pulp into your protein powder, which my recipe coming up for that will be really soon. I'm working on that right now. And you can also use it directly in cookies. I have a lovely healthy cookie recipe that I use that I just use this coconut pulp, put it directly in, and it's amazing. So it's a really good high source of protein. So you don't want to throw this away. So you can keep squeezing and get the last little bits out if you want, or you can say, okay, I'm done with that now. Get as much of the liquid out as you can because we're going to dehydrate this pulp. So we don't want it to take very long. And there we are. And there we go. We have a beautiful, smells so delicious, toasted coconut milk. And all we need to do is pour it into our jar and we're ready to use it for lattes or chai latte or any kind of tea in your smoothies, in your curries. And you can see this one is a little more runny.
But remember, when you put this in the refrigerator, it will thicken up quite a bit.
And I usually double this as well because I like to have a nice full glass. But I wanted to make the amount that was about equivalent to what you buy at a store. And there you have it. Some beautiful, fresh coconut milk made at home. I hope you enjoy this toasted coconut milk and join us next where I'm going to show you how to make toasted coconut cream. It smells so good. I love it just like this. You can add vanilla, a little bit of sea salt, and of course any sweetener that you like if you like yours a little bit sweet. I like mine just like this. The flavor from toasting the coconut is so incredible. I think you're going to love it. Enjoy. See you soon.
I truly hope you enjoyed making toasted coconut milk with me today, and I hope you never have to buy coconut milk again. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much.